What's going on YouTube? So Audi, like many German automakers, has a lineup with a ton of vehicles inside of it, filling just about every niche you can imagine. However, at the end of the day, one vehicle is much more important than all of the rest, and that is this Audi Q5. That's why it's big news that they have refreshed this 2021 model to bring it up to the brand's latest design and technology standards. But does this best-selling Audi also deserve to be number one in the segment? Let's go ahead and find out. So like I already mentioned in the introduction, a big part of this refresh was about bringing the Q5 to the latest Audi design standards, and you can see that up here in the front. So what we've got is a new octagonal grille like many of the latest Audi products, including the refreshed Q7, and it does have the vertical bars that runs through it across all three of your trim levels. Now the interesting thing about it is actually the fascia depends on the engine. So this is with the standard gas engine, you get this design. It's called the Advanced line. However, if you choose the new plug-in hybrid model, that actually comes with the S line, which has a mesh fascia that kind of resembles the SQ5. Now coming over here to your headlights, these are also new this year. As you can see, you've got a brand new design. They are full LED across all the models. You no longer have xenons on the base model. And then if you choose the Prestige model, that's going to come with the Matrix LED headlights with dynamic front turn signals, as well as the cool animations in the front and rear. Down here at your wheels, as with every good refresh, we do have new designs on board. So you've got a standard 18-inch alloy on just the base premium model. However, if you go to the Premium Plus or the Prestige, that comes with a nice looking 19-inch contrast alloy. And then right here on this model, we've got the optional 20-inch kind of S design alloys, which I think look pretty nice. Now jumping up here to the mirrors, there are some changes on board. You have standard heating, and now you have standard blind spot monitoring for 2021. Then as far as your other features, power folding and auto dimming are going to be included on the Premium Plus trim level. Now moving around to the rear design of the refreshed Q5, you're not going to see as many differences as you do in the front. That is not to say that Audi hasn't changed anything though, as they have updated quite a few elements back here. So I'm going to go ahead and start with these taillights. These are a new LED design. They're going to be, of course, fully LED, and they do still have that dynamic turn signal, but it is slightly different for 2021. However, probably the biggest difference that you're going to notice is this chrome piece going through in between the taillights. That's an element that is seen on the refreshed Q7, so it's nice that Audi has kind of updated the Q5 to have that as well. And then dropping down to the diffuser area, this is going to be another change since Audi has actually eliminated the fake exhaust outlets on the 2020 model, but you can still get the fake exhaust outlets if you go for the plug-in hybrid. Now Audi also has updated the safety systems for 2021 by giving you a few more standard, although not all of them, since you're going to have forward emergency braking with pre-collision detection, as well as auto high beam headlamps, and new for 2021 rear auto braking standard. Now also new for 2021 is they got rid of that driver assistance package and put it standard on the Premium Plus trims and higher, so that's going to throw in your stuff like adaptive cruise control with the traffic jam assistant. But anyway, guys, that's going to conclude the refreshed exterior design of this Audi Q5. Now let's go ahead and check out the inside, where I know Audi has done some updates before we take it out in a spin. But before we do that, hit that subscribe button down below. So walking up to this updated Q5, you will continue to find Audi's advanced key entry system, standard on the Premium Plus and above, and optional on the base Premium. And as you can see, the key itself does remain the same this year. Now to get inside, just grab behind the handle since there is a sensor. Okay, so taking a first peek into the cabin itself, you're not going to notice like a ground up reinvention. equivalent to say like the old Q7 versus the new Q7, but there are a lot of updates once you dig around. Before we get into that, let's first talk about your different color and material options. So for 2021, real leather continues to be standard equipment in your choice of black, Okapi brown, Atlas beige, or rock gray. However, new this year is the fact that you have color contrast stitching on the seats no matter which color you choose. Now, in addition to that, we also have a new wood on board this year. This is a open pore wood, which replaces the previous gloss walnut. Definitely looks a lot nicer, or you can also get the same gray oak trim that was offered last year. As far as your door trim is concerned, it is pretty much the same this year. So you have the leatherette padding down here on the armrest for the Premium Plus and the Prestige trim level. And again, we have the new open pore wood on the door. You do have two-person memory seating with Premium Plus and above, and all four of your windows will be one-touch automatic. Dropping down here to the seat, this is the 8-way power adjusting seat with 4-way lumbar support. As far as the design, this is considered the standard seat. You have a sport design seat which has more aggressive bolsters for the Prestige trim level, or optional on this Premium Plus. And then, like I was already mentioning, we do have the real leather seating with the new color contrast stitching. As far as the materials in the rest of the cabin, they have not changed in a big way, but there are some updates. So across your upper dash, this will continue to be a soft touch plastic, and then below that you have more of the open pore wood. However, when we fall down here to our center console, you will notice that we now have a piano black trim that runs through here instead of the previous matte finish, which I think adds a classy touch. And then off to the side here, we do have a leatherette padding with color contrast stitching on the Premium Plus and the Prestige level. Now to start up every Q5, put your foot on the brake and press the standard button. So when you fire up the vehicle, the first thing that you'll be greeted with is the latest version of Audi Virtual Cockpit, so long as you choose anything but the base trim level. Now, it looks a little bit different this year, and that's because we have a new design theme on board. This is called the Dynamic View. As you can see, it's kind of a sporty view, but you can also change it back to the classic view if you prefer that. And obviously we do have the full-fledged Google Earth Maps on board. Now up above that, we would also have a head-up display if you choose the Prestige level. As far as the steering wheel itself, of course it is electric power assisted steering, and we do have a leather-wrapped wheel. It's manually adjusting on your lower two trims, power adjusting on the Prestige level, and new for 2021, you now have a heated steering wheel standard on the Premium Plus. Now let's go ahead and look into the interior storage, because this has changed for 2021. So this is our armrest. It is adjustable, so you can slide it back like so. And then when you lift it up, you will notice more storage in here actually than in the big Q7. So this is one of our larger Audi storage areas. It does have a rubber lining and a USB port inside. And then this right here is a wireless phone charging pad on your Premium Plus and up. If you slide that back, that will reveal your two cup holders. And then checking out the center console here, since the MMI controller has been eliminated, the spot that it used to be in is now a storage bin. And then we also have the same storage bin up here with another USB and a 12-volt outlet. Now moving back to the shifter, this is the same this year, so you pull back for drive. You can bump over here to the right if you want to do some manual shifting right here. And then all the models also include paddle shifters on the steering wheel. Reverse is going up the opposite direction. And then up here you will notice, even though we have the Premium Plus trim level, we do have the 360-degree camera system. That's newly standard to Premium Plus this year. And as you can see, it does remain really clear and nice looking resolution with both your traditional view, active trajectory, and 360 view. And then for park, just press the P. Right behind the shifter, you also have an electronic parking brake. Now as we slide over here, we'll come to our volume knob as the next thing. So most of the models come standard with a 10-speaker sound system. However, we've got the 755-watt 19-speaker Bang & Olufsen 3D sound system. So let's go ahead and take a sample of that. Of course, as you would expect, the sound quality of this system is fantastic and really fills up the cabin nicely. Alright, so the next thing we'll check out is this row of buttons here. Basically has things to turn on and off your auto start stop, traction control, and parking sensors, but you also have your drive mode select right there. And then above that we have our climate controls. This is the same 3-zone automatic setup as last year. It is standard across all the models, and you do continue to have the cool touch capacitive buttons right here for all your physical controls. And off to the side you will find 3-stage heated seats. These are standard equipment on every Q5, and if you want seat ventilation, those come with the Sport seating package, optional on this Premium Plus and standard on the Prestige. But of course, one of our biggest updates to the cabin is this brand new display. So this is a 10.1 inch display, and it replaces both the 7 and 8.3 inch displays from last year. Now, as I already mentioned, this is a touchscreen now, and there is no MMI controller at all. And it does have the newest MMI touch response software, just like in all the latest Audi products. Also new this year is the fact that you have wireless Android Auto and wireless Apple CarPlay. Now moving up, we have a standard auto dimming mirror with our HomeLink universal remotes built into the MMI system. And then up top here, you will notice a power panoramic moonroof. This is going to be included on the Premium Plus trim level and the Prestige trim level. And as you can see, very large piece of glass with a power sunshade, and then this front portion does open up. Now this Q5 is built for the family, so this rear seat is a very important aspect of it. Now as far as your space itself, it's going to come in at 38 inches of rear legroom, 39 inches of rear headroom, which does place it very, very similar to the competition, so it's going to be right around that of the Mercedes GLC. And as far as behind rear seating position, I definitely have no complaints. I would say probably 7 to 8 inches of rear legroom thanks to the knee cutouts, and my feet can easily slide up underneath the seat. Now Audi has also thrown in a lot of standard equipment, so we are of course going to have standard vents. We also have standard climate controls back here. In addition to that, you can get heated rear seats, although it's not on this Premium Plus model. And then dropping down, we have 2 charging USB ports as well as a 12-volt outlet. On the door trim, you would have a rear window sunshade if you go for the Prestige. And then if you fold down the center armrest, we do have cup holders inside. Now walking up to the tailgate, Audi was nice enough to include a hands-free power one standard across the entire lineup. So just wave your foot under the bumper to open up. And once it does open up, you do have a good amount of space back here, although it is slightly smaller than some of the competition. So you're looking at 25.4 cubic feet behind the second row seats. That expands to 54 cubic feet if you fold it. So like I said, that is slightly below stuff like the BMW X3 as well as Mercedes GLC, although not a massive difference overall. Now as far as how Audi has finished it, we have a nice carpeting along the floor. And if we lift it up, we do have a spare tire. To the side we have nets, and we also have the handles to fold the 40-20-40 split folding rear seats. Now your passenger seat over here is going to be power adjusting, although I am noticing you're missing out on the power lumbar support. And then as far as the glove box, it is, wow, impressively large in here. It's super nicely felt lined, and then as far as the space itself, I mean, zero complaints here. You could fit, so many coupons in here. You could probably just pay for the car itself with the number of coupons you could fit in here. And then up top, we do have a sun visor with a mirror as well as an LED light, and you can also detach it and extend. very stout acceleration. So what we've got on board is a modified powertrain for 2021. So we start with the same base engine, which is a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. But this year Audi is adding the 12-volt mild hybrid system. And that's going to boost power up to 261 horsepower, 273 pound-feet of torque. I think you can feel the power upgrade. It's going to be 13 horsepower more than last year, and it does shave off 0.2 seconds from the 0 to 60.
And this was
already one of the faster options.
Yeah, it was already one of the fastest options. These German crossovers here are certainly up in power, like the GLC, over some of the competition like the Lexus NX, and it really just makes it even better for 2021. Now there is also going to be a plug-in electric version of this Q5, as we have seen in the 2020 model year as well, and that will be covered in a separate video. And then there's also, of course, the SQ5.
So I don't know if you noticed or not, but if you were looking closely at the tachometer, the engine shuts off before you come to a full stop, and that's because we have the advanced auto start stop, part of the mild hybrid system, just like in other Audi models. Really nice system. Really does a great job with being super smooth. When it's going off, of course, you don't feel it at all because you're in motion still, and then when it starts back up, it's extremely smooth. So part of the powertrain, of course, is your transmission. It's got the same transmission as last year. It's going to be a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic. Underway, really fast shifts. As you can probably tell in those accelerations, really gives you kind of like a seamless surge of power because the shifts snap off super fast, which is typical, of course, for dual-clutch transmission, and a big benefit of that.
Yeah. And of course, you're also going to have standard quattro all-wheel drive with this Q5.
I forgot how quick this thing was.
Really no complaints at all with this 2-liter engine. I mean, of course, there is the SQ5, and even the plug-in electric will be faster than this, but it's certainly not going to be disappointed with this base engine. That said, we do also want to talk about the ride quality, as really the main focus of this vehicle is not going to be performance. It's just going to be to cruise along. And this Audi Q5 does a really good job. It has a typical German solidity to it, which I'm a huge fan of. When you hit a bump, you're not going to hear any rattles or anything like that, and it really just soaks it up super well. And I will get a sound level reading here. We're going around 45 miles per hour. And it looks like we're sitting at under 50 decibels. So, granted, we are going a little bit slower than we do in some of our other tests due to the road that we're on, but under 50 decibels, that really just goes to show you that this has an extremely quiet cabin. If anything, this Q5 is focused on being just super family comfortable and that type of thing, and that noise level is kind of part of that.
All right, I do want to go ahead and mention, since he's talking about that comfort orientation, the steering. This is very lightweight on the Q5. It always has been. Like he was saying, it's perhaps a little bit less sport-oriented than some of the German competition, actually.
Now, I do also want to mention the slam dunk and airball with this refreshed Q5. So for our slam dunk, we're going to talk about the 2021 updates. While there was nothing really particularly wrong with the 2020, these updates certainly are going to make it a overall better experience. This technology is much better than it was before, and it was just kind of starting to show its age a little bit, and Audi has kind of remedied that with the updates.
Right, and then on the airball side of things, that's going to be one thing that we wish they added, which was more stylish options. There's no black optic package available right now as we speak, at least. compared to some of the competition, you can't get as many stylish options with the Q5, and I do wish they could allow you to spice up the design a little bit more.
And then finishing things off with a few more points, let's talk about the fuel economy. So with that advanced auto start-stop system, that mild hybrid technology, you're going to have a 1 mpg improvement combined over the pre-refresh model, coming in at 23, 28, 25 combined. And that's one of the best all-wheel drive fuel economy ratings in the class. That's very, very impressive fuel economy. And then as far as the pricing itself, we're not going to have too much of a price increase, really. It's pretty much the same as the 2020, coming in at $43,300 for the Premium Plus $48,100, and the Prestige does see a little bit of a price increase of $2,500 to $54,000 this year. And pulling out this one sticker, we do have quite a few options on the Premium Plus, but not too many, and it's going to bring this one to $52,445, including the $1,095 destination charge, which that's a very solid price point for a German luxury crossover. It probably is going to be cheaper in most cases than the BMW X3 and Mercedes GLC.
So overall, this update really gets an A+ from us. This is all in the positive direction. The things that they added really just make the Q5 better. And like Mason said, this is already a really great all-around product that really stacks up well against all the competition. And things like your mild hybrid, your upgraded technology, and styling really just elevates the experience another notch.
Well guys, we appreciate you sticking around to the end of this in-depth review of the 2021 Audi Q5 Premium Plus. We really appreciate you watching, and if you made it this far in the video, that means you enjoyed watching. So be sure to do us a favor by hitting that subscribe button down below. All it's going to do is give you notifications on all of our most recent videos. It doesn't cost you a nickel, so go ahead and do that. But anyway, we'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.